Hello and welcome to the video. This is part 2 of my epic trip around the southwestern part of England. This is the route I took. If you didn't see part 1, you can see it right here. Enjoy the videos. Good morning. Another day here in Dartmoor National Park, and unfortunately the weather is terrible. Very windy, rainy, cold. Yesterday was a good weather day, and that was the one I was stuck on the hill. So I'm gonna try and do some stuff today. We'll see if there's some indoor things I can do. I was gonna do a couple hikes, but I'm thinking that's not likely. We'll see. Headed down to Cornwall, so hopefully the weather will be better there. Love to climb up there, but I'm not gonna do that today. Plan was to hike Lidford Gorge to go down to see a waterfall, but I'm going to heed this warning because it's very windy and wet today. So moving on. This is the remains of Lidford Castle from the 1300s. That staircase and walkway are obviously unoriginal, but the rest of it is. Beautiful old church. The wood beams on the ceiling are amazing. There's the church. And there's the castle. I am in the historic fishing village of Polperro. I'm actually in Cornwall now. So yay, made it to Cornwall. The weather is just terrific, let me tell you. Pub in Polperro. Cool old pub. Really like this pub a lot. Three Pilchards. What a cool town. This place gets really crowded in the summer. I'm glad I'm not here in the summer, although I wish the weather was nicer. Bit of a rough sea today. Crazy windy. Look at that ocean. It's angry. The sea is angry today, my friends. Polperro was such a cool little town. I loved it. I want to go back when the weather's nicer. I just don't know if I'd love it as much when it's really crowded in the summer. But today was beautiful, not many people. I mean, the way the wind was whipping over the seas was just amazing. This is the town of Loo. This is where I'm staying tonight. Another coastal town. And then to ship in Loo. Nice pub. Like it. Good morning. Today I am in the town of Fowey. It's another typical English weather day. Rainy and windy. But at least it's not too cold. It's about 58 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 Celsius. I guess I mispronounced it. It's Foy. Foy. This pub's been here since the 16th century. Quite a few people here today in Foy because they have a Christmas market going on. But I'm not going to stick around for that because it doesn't look like it's that great. And it's also blocking all the access to the harbor, so you can't get good views. Moving on. Well, here's a good view of the harbor from up above. Greetings. I am at Land Hydrock, which is a beautiful mansion with gardens. Unfortunately, the mansion and gardens are closed, but you can still walk around the grounds. So I'll take a look at the place and then move on. And if you think that's it, you're sadly mistaken. That's just the gate. Look at those expertly manicured bushes. That's a bummer. It's a Victorian country house built in the 1800s. It's massive. I'm going to something called the Eden Project. Not exactly sure what it's all about, but about to find out. This is really cool. It's a bunch of biomes with different types of climates in them. Really expensive to get in here. 42 pounds. It's about $55. But they said it goes towards charity and towards keeping this place up and towards education, so I decided to pay it. Hopefully it's worth it. This is actually pretty amazing. Reminds me of the Hunger Games. Those leaves are humongous. They even put a waterfall in here. This is actually incredible. It's like walking through a rainforest. Gecko. They have two big biomes here, rainforest biome and Mediterranean biome. It smells minty. It's a cactus garden. Look at all these cacti. Orange tree. It's a good quote. Very appropriate. And the biome is decorated for Christmas. These are called Sugar Rush Peach Stripe Peppers. They're pretty hot. But they're supposed to have like a fruity taste too. I've never had one. And those are the hottest peppers in the world, Carolina Reaper. Almost looks like a strawberry from here, but I would not take a bite of that. Really enjoyed that. Very interesting and informative. There's a lot of people here for November. In summer, it's probably a nightmare. But today was pretty good. It wasn't too crowded, but I really enjoyed it. Very informative. A lot of interesting things to see. And these domes are just, it's pretty amazing what they've done here. Really liked it. In 1998, this was a barren landscape with no soil and no plants. And look what they've turned it into. Pretty amazing. Going to Pendennis Castle. There's Pendennis Castle, built in the time of Henry VIII, around 1540. Built right into the hill here. It's pretty cool. These were actually used as the Royal Artillery Barracks in World War I from 1914 1918. This is the Tudor gun tower from Henry VIII's time, 1540. Got a nice view here too. Inside the gun tower, they would fire cannons at the invading Spanish ships. This is part of the original portcullis that was in front of the gate of the castle from 1541. Can't go up to the roof of this tower because of high winds, but the view from here is pretty good. That is St. Nicholas Castle across the estuary. NAWES. See some big guns here. These are from World War II. 1800s and in World War I and in World War II, this castle. These are tunnels. Again, used in World War II. This is pretty awesome. So this is called Half Moon Battery. This is the first line of defense for the castle and for the coastline in World War II. There are two huge guns guarding this port right here. One here and one on the other side. Here's the other gun. View's not as good from this one. It said those two big guns never had to fight off any German warships during World War II, but they did fend off a few German U-boats during 1943, 1944. That is the field train shed, built in 1805 to store weapons. That's where all those cannons were I just showed you. And here's a lineup of cannons right here. They weren't messing around. This is called the East Bastion. Two more guns. Well, that one's missing. But there were two more guns here. You got a great view from here, but I guess you should since you're trying to find enemy ships. This is World War II winter barracks built in 1901. They have some bunks set up. Show what it would have been like to stay here. Probably not very pleasant. A couple more guns on this side. Like I said, not messing around. That's the guardhouse. And this is the gate, the entrance down here. That's the town of Falmouth. Really enjoyed that. A lot of history there. Pendennis Castle's a bit of a misnomer, though. It's more of a fort. It should be Pendennis Fort. Oh, having a legend ale at the Mount Bay Inn in Mullion, England. That squid appetizer was delicious. Look at this roast dinner with Yorkshire pudding. Yum-y. That dinner was so good. The place was so good. If I ever come back to Mullion, I'm coming back to this place for sure. Good morning. Finally got a nice day here. It's windy, but it's not raining. And there's not a lot of clouds. I think we're going to have a good day. I'm at Kynance Cove. It's supposed to be beautiful. Going to check it out right now. Amazing. It's one of the most beautiful places I've been in my life. Incredible. I was not expecting to make this hike from Kynance Cove to Lizard Point, but I thought I'd be driving it. The hike is amazing, so I'm glad I did it. It's a tougher hike than I thought too. Stairs coming down, stairs going up. I was duped, I didn't bring any water. I should be okay though. The southernmost point on the island of Great Britain. A lot of people think it's Land's End, but that's the southwesternmost point. This is the southernmost point. I'll be at Land's End later today. That hike from Kindness Cove to Lizard Point was one of the most spectacular hikes I've ever done. There was just views the whole way. It was breathtaking. It was a much harder hike than I thought it was going to be. The sign at the car park said that Lizard Point was 1.25 miles, but it was at least 2.5 miles each way. So 5 miles round trip. Pretty moderate hike, I'd say. There was one steep down and then steep back up, but the rest of it was pretty doable. But it's totally worth it. It was an amazing hike. I drove to this town, which I believe was pronounced Marazion, to see this. This is called St. Michael's Mount. It's a lot like Mont Saint Michel in France, and they have the same name. Pretty big coincidence. Well, there's two ways over there. One is by boat, but there's no boats today. And the other way is to walk across the causeway at low tide. Well, low tide's not for another like 4 hours. So, I guess I'm just going to see it from a distance, unfortunately. Here I am at Land's End, the southwesterly-most point in the island of Great Britain. Most people come to Land's End and don't even see this. It's so amazing. It's more amazing than that signpost for sure. Just wow. I don't think he likes me. Well, that was 2 spectacular hikes in one day. This one was amazing. If you're coming to Land's End, don't just go to the signpost. I mean, do go to the signpost and get the selfie and all that stuff, but then take a walk down the cliff walks. It's just amazing. I went about 1.5 miles and I saw so many spectacular sights. I would say at least go to that arch and this Dodnan, because that up to there was the most spectacular part. But even farther out was amazing as well. There's a lot of touristy stuff here to do at Land's End. I would avoid that stuff and just do the cliff walks. It's way more amazing than anything else you're going to do here. This is the town of St. Ives. This is where I'm staying tonight. Actually, the next 2 nights should be fun. I'm at a place called the Razor Clan. This is the seafood linguine and a beer. Got into a little accident yesterday. Took one of the narrow English roads, took a curve too fast and crossed the white line and sideswiped another guy. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. Just goes to show you what really narrow roads and a momentary lapse of focus will do. This is Cape Cornwall. Made it to the top of this old chimney stack here, and the view is 360-degree spectacular. Gulver tin mine. It was in operation from 1830 to 1878. Finally got myself a real Cornish pasty from Pengenna Pasties. It is delicious. Decorated for Christmas. This is St. Ives. I'm at the Castle Inn. This is not an Atlantic Pale Ale. This is a Betty Stoggs. It's pretty good. Here it's called Meor. M-E-O-R. I'm at the Union Inn. It's pretty good. It's kind of sweet, but I like it. I am in Newquay, and as usual, there's a big church here. It's really cool. This house is on an island by itself. Apparently, that's a private residence. There's a bridge on this one. This one, though, I thought this was a private residence too. It looks like it's abandoned. There's a lot of little caves and indentations around here too. It's pretty cool. There's another little cave. Here's another cave that I'm going to check out right now. I don't know how far back this goes, but I'm going to try and see. It goes pretty far back. It's not Mammoth Cave or anything, but it's still really cool. And there's buildings on top of this. That's what's amazing. There's another big cave over here. That's the other big cave. This one's got water in it. I think they all have water in them at high tide, but unfortunately the tide's low right now. Shellfish there, mussels, and looks like scallops. These rocks are really cool. They're like wavy. Well, Newquay was quite an impressive town. Really enjoyed it. Now I'm at Cornwall at Bedruthen. I'm not even sure what that means, but it's supposed to be another amazing coastal view, so let's check it out. Well, this is quite a breathtaking view. There's a little arch right there. It goes all the way through. These rocks are actually called the Bedruthen Steps. Legend has it that there's a giant named Bedruthen who would use these stones to walk across the bay during high tide. I am in Tintagel, and this is the Camelot Castle Hotel. This is where I'm staying tonight, so I'm actually splurging tonight. But I paid for this with points, so it's not that big of a splurge. This place is awesome. So this is my room. And this is my view. Wow, never get views like this. There's a pretty good shot of the hotel I'm staying in. There's a suspension bridge that goes to Tintagel Castle. Can't wait to go on that. I hope it's open. I don't see anybody on it. Amazing how they can just float in the air like that. These views in Cornwall are just incredible. That's Tintagel Castle, overlooking all of this. Didn't know there was a waterfall. Got a cave down there, suspension bridge. It's awesome. There's the castle. Go check it out. It says King Arthur was conceived at Tintagel Castle. Oh, interesting. And that is called Merlin's Cave, the sorcerer. Well, I got here too late to see the castle today. It's a little after 3, and they close at 4, and they won't let anyone after 3. So I will do this tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. This is St. Materiana's Church. This is actually what you can see from my hotel room. This is a beautiful old church. It's small, but it's very pretty. There's been a church on this spot since 500 AD. This church was built between 1080 and 1150, although it's been restored and updated several times. Well, you can tell we're in England. I'm into the cemetery, but look behind it. That says England right there. I'm at the King Arthur's Arms. This is not a Doom Bar Amber Ale. It's a King Arthur's Ale. It's actually really good. This is the view from my hotel room, which is pretty amazing. This is the church I went to yesterday. And then here, this right here is the ruins of Tintagel Castle. And here is the bridge that goes over the other side. I'm gonna be going on that today, looking forward to it. And that is Tintagel Castle, supposedly the birthplace of King Arthur. Let's go check it out. This is my luck. Closed for the day because of high winds. So I guess that's that. Going to see St. Nectan's Glen. It's supposed to be a nice waterfall there. This is a coin log. Everyone sticks their coins in there. I guess it's for good luck. Look, there's peacocks up here on the roof. That's amazing. You have to go through this little shop to get to the waterfall, and it costs £9 to get to the waterfall, which I think is a little bit outrageous, but that's just me. So let's make sure we get our money's worth out of this. This is the river that feeds into the waterfall. And that's the top of the waterfall. Well, let's go see the whole waterfall. Alright, that is a good one. Coming out of the crack in the rock, I like that a lot. Continues down there. Here's a second bonus waterfall. The good thing is, coming this time of year, only one other person down here, so very serene, very tranquil. Here's a third extra special bonus waterfall. See you keep those children calm and soft. Gotta cross this now, so lady said take my shoes off, so that's what I did. Let's hope they won't fall. Let's find out. Made it across. My feet are like numb and wet now. I have to dry them off. I don't have a towel, but it's okay. That was fun. Part of the adventure. Okay, wasn't expecting that, but that was a lot of fun. So now I'm gonna go see the waterfall from a different perspective and then head back. That is a pretty impressive waterfall, actually. I'm really glad I did that. I almost blew it off. I just wanted to move on, but I'm glad I did it. It was really cool crossing the stream. This trail is very muddy and rocky. There's a lot of ups and downs, so I would call it a moderate trail. Wear good shoes. Well, unfortunately, I'm all done with Cornwall. St. Nectan's Glen was my last stop there, and I've driven 2 hours east to Lynmouth, which is a beautiful town right near Exmoor National Park. So I'm exploring this area for the next couple days. Lynmouth is a town at the bottom of a hill, and then there's also another town on the top of the hill called Linton. So I'm gonna check out both towns. There is a funicular that runs between both, but of course it's closed this time of year. So I will walk up. But this is already, it's a beautiful town. It's so many, it's very rustic. Love it. It was devastated in 1952. Devastated. Pub says it's from the 14th century, and it's got a thatched roof. It's an interesting take on a Christmas tree, and it's even got a bird on the top acting like the star. It's a real bird. There's the cliff railway that goes up to Linton. Unfortunately, it's not running, but I will walk next to it. This is quite the steep hike up to Linton. I can see why people take the railway. It's all paved, but it's steep. Tough to tell from the video, but it's very steep. And this is the quaint little village of Linton. And that is St. Mary's Church of Linton. That is Linton Town Hall. Quite a beautiful building. This used to be a church, but now it's an art and craft center and a cinema. This is the Living Waters Linton United Reformed Church. About a mile each way from Linton to the Valley of Rocks. Wasn't worth the walk. I would say drive if you have a car. It's a whistle stop at best, but it was interesting. Well, there's 2 pubs in Linton, and they're both closed, unfortunately. One of them was closed for the day. Today's Thanksgiving in the US, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. And the other one, I just don't think was open yet, but I'm heading back down. There's some pubs in Lynmouth. I'll go there. I'm in the 14th century pub. The pub was really good. Good real ales, a nice atmosphere. Liked it a lot. Rising sun.
Full English breakfast at the hotel, I'm saying that. Yummy.
This is the town of Porlock Weir, another fishing village. You can see that it's low tide. It's kind of cool. There's a thatched roof. Well, my plan was to hike up to Dunkery Beacon to see the nice views, but this is what we've got today. Not going to see any views, so I'm not doing it. Moving on. This is the town of Dunster. And this is Dunster Castle, which I'm going to go check out right now. This is St. George's Church. This is the parish church of Dunster. Another beautiful old church. Well, Dunster was a quaint little town. I really liked it. I'm very disappointed the castle wasn't open. I can understand the castle not being open, but why not have the gardens open? You don't need anybody to staff that. I don't get it. I would have paid to go in, so they could have made money. Makes no sense to me. But anyway, disappointing, but moving on. This is the town of Glastonbury, famous for its festival every year. Also famous for its tower, Glastonbury Tour, which I'm going to go see after I get something to eat. This is the Church of St. John the Baptist. Beautiful church. They were setting up some Christmas market in there, so I didn't want to bother them. This tower is really awesome. There it is. That's Glastonbury Tour. It's also has special magnetic and possibly mystical qualities. So let's go see if something in me changes when I go there. Crazy windy up here too, but it was worth coming up here. Now that I've been inside, I don't feel any different. I made the drive to Wells, and I'm going to see Wells Cathedral, which is right over here. Wow, it's massive. This is called Vickers Close. These houses were built 650 years ago.
Fucking 10 minutes late. You dumb.
The word for this is grandiose. Wow. And this is the Cathedral School. Another nice building. Look at all the statues on this tower. More statues on this side of the church. This is the town of Wells. This is just the entranceway. That is impressive. Those are called the scissor arches. That's some impressive architecture. This is the east end, going towards the Lady Chapel. Going up to the chapter house, which was built in 1306. It's where the governing body of the cathedral meets. Some worn down stairs. I can't even capture this whole remote video. It's so big. It's an astronomical clock. It was built in 1390. They said this is the second oldest working clock in the world, and the oldest one with its original dial. Does that every 15 minutes. Same jouster loses every time. This is called the choir, Q-U-I-R-E. This is where most of the services were held during medieval times. And this is called the Jesse window. It's actually original from the 1300s. This has to be one of the most impressive cathedrals I've ever seen. This is called the cathedra, or the bishop's throne. That's why cathedrals are called cathedrals, because they house the cathedra, where the bishop's throne is. This is not the organ you currently hear playing, otherwise it would be a lot louder in here. That is a beautiful organ. These statues. And this windows. It's called a cope chest. It holds the priest's robes and things. Built in 1120. This is Vickers Close from the other end. What a gorgeous street. Never seen a street quite like this. 650 years old. This is a Buncombe original at the White Lion in Bristol. Shepherd's Pie, yummy. Morning. Today I'm in the Cotswolds. Right now I'm in the town of Cirencester. Cotswolds are a whole bunch of quaint little villages and towns. It's supposed to be very amazing. It's Saturday, so it's probably going to be a little bit crowded, but it should be a lot of fun. I've only got one day here. Normally people spend like a week here, but I'll see as much as I can today. Got a market going on here today. Mispronounced it before, it's Cirencester. And it's known as the capital of the Cotswolds. This is the inside of St. John the Baptist Church. Having a big tree lighting Christmas opening ceremony here today. So I'm not going to stick around too long because it's going to get really crowded. I'll check out some other towns. This is the town of Bybury. Cute little river here. This is called Arlington Row. It's the most famous and I believe the oldest part of Bybury. This is Arlington Row, said to be the most photographed houses in all of Britain. This was originally built as a wool store in the 14th century and they're converted to cottages in the 17th century. This is Burton on the Water. Everyone I talked to said if you're going to the Cotswolds, you got to go to Burton on the Water. It's the most popular and supposedly the most beautiful. And their Christmas tree is in the middle of the water. Burton on the Water was a really lovely town. I enjoyed it. It's not the kind of place you need to spend more than a couple hours at. It's a good place to go, walk around, relax, have lunch, and then you can leave. I mean, it's not a huge place, but it is a very lovely town. Now I'm in Lower Slaughter, which is supposed to be another beautiful town, so I'm going to check it out. It is very picturesque. This mill here. That is the Lower Slaughter Village Hall.
Go. Go. Good go. Sweet.
That's gotta be cool to live in one of these houses. Except for the fact that you have tourists walking around your place all the time. I mean, it's November and there's a lot of tourists. I can't imagine what it's like in the summer. It must be no privacy. Nice little church. It's my last stop in England before I visit family tomorrow and then head to Northern Ireland. So I'm in Oxford. Do a little walking around here. Maybe hopefully catch a walking tour. We'll see. A lot of people in Oxford on this Saturday afternoon. So we got a Christmas market going on. A double-decker carousel. Whitman Library. This is the courtyard of the Bodleian Library. It's amazing.
So, what we have around us here, this is the Bodleian Library. It is the oldest still functioning library in all.
This room's called the Divinity School. It's not used anymore, just for tourists really. But 2 scenes from Harry Potter were shot here. There's the 2 scenes shot in this room. This was built in 1483. That's 9 years before Columbus discovered America. This is called the Narnia door. C.S. Lewis actually went to school here. Those 2 statues on the left and right are Mr. Tumnus, and the carving on the door is Aslan. Radcliffe Camera. University Church of St. Mary, built in 1200.
Essay about that subject.
The gate to All Souls College.
As I say, the word
All Souls College, a very prestigious postgraduate school. Only 16 people a year get in here. Bridge of Sighs. This is where they hold their graduations. This is Trinity College, part of Oxford.
Who was a bit of a strange man, in the sense that he did not want to found an Oxford. This one is, I'd say, medium grandeur as they go. So the most impressive one is Christ Church. They have an absolutely enormous, it's practically a cathedral. It's
Pint of House Bitter.
It's such an amazing time in England. It's a country full of beautiful landscapes and historic villages. So many things to see. I think a lot of people go to England and just go see London. And I'm here to tell you, there's a lot more to this country than just London. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. On to the next adventure.